A lot of people are like retarded. They're like, they can't comprehend. You know what I'm saying? They are like absolutely retarded. I saw a situation yesterday, and the situation was handled by adults, but in a retarded way.
Adapt to die.
Yeah, man. We are live. Thursday night reality check. How you guys doing tonight? I got the Finster. I got the real Finn, not fake Finn or faux Finn.
That's me, man. How you guys doing? Good evening. Good to be here.
And we got Frank Pesci. Frank, good to see you.
What's up, guys?
Tonight. Well, it's going to be a different show tonight. It's going to be a short one. I kind of came up with this idea that maybe a lot of people or a few people or no people want to come backstage. And when I say backstage, I had emailed a few people. I put it in the description of the video, my community posts. So people had emailed me. So if you want to come backstage, what that means is you can actually be on the live panel tonight. But what happens is we're going to end the broadcast. So it's going to be uncensored, unfiltered, backstage talk. So if you have an issue, you have a problem that you want to talk to the guys about, that's what we're here for. Or if you just need someone to talk to, that's what we're here for. Or I'm finding out if you have a beef with me and you want to settle the score, well, here I am. So that's my offer to everybody that's watching. Of course, any of my regular guys that are on here, I'm probably will drop the link in the live chat here shortly. And so what you do is you click the link and then you come on backstage. So like I said, we're only going to be on for about an hour, and then we're going to go backstage and we're going to have a discussion. So we're going to talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about, but it's not going to be broadcasted. Your privacy is going to be protected as long as nobody is screen recording, which I trust everybody. Yeah, exactly. So that's what's going on tonight. So, so what do you guys think of that concept, that idea?
It's good. It's clever.
Yeah. I just think that sometimes there's people that would want to talk about something, but putting it on a public forum is more difficult for some people than it is for others.
For sure. As an English teacher, right, being out here in Brazil, one of the things that I experience with people is the speaking in public, the fear of speaking in public, and doing research and stuff and preparing some of my classes, because I have also given classes on helping people to give presentations and speeches. One of the things that I've come across is, at least data that I've seen in America, that public speaking is the #1 fear. So it's totally understandable how maybe people have something they want to say, and it's very easy to be able to do it as a comment on a live chat or on a video. But to come on, it's really daunting and intimidating for many people. So it's a good idea to give this platform and an opportunity for someone to get it off their chest and share with other, you could say, like-minded people, or someone who has a total different perspective or opinion that can maybe shed some light or give you a point of view that you never thought about before.
Yeah, or somebody could shed some light on us.
Exactly.
I'm always willing to learn, to adapt. You know, I think it's really will be like a kind of like a Zoom meeting, is what it is. But the whole idea of this concept was to say, hey, if there's somebody out there that really hasn't had a chance to come on a panel like this, being backstage and not being broadcasted might change your outlook and make it easier for you to kind of unload something. Because I think nowadays what's happening is people just don't want to talk, and they really don't want to, especially as men don't want to complain or let their problems out. And I think that's what really probably, I don't want to say helps, but increases the suicide rate in males, is that as men, we're strong. We want to be strong. We want to be, you want to be stoic. You don't want to show somebody your issues. So talking to a group of guys, and again, the invitation is open to women also, of course. You know, it's not just to men, but if there's something that somebody wants to talk to us about, hey, you know, that's what we're here for. So, but in fact, you know what? I didn't plan on it, even though I do have a few emails. So we'll see who comes in. I'm gonna drop the link right now. So anybody that wants to come on. And again, we're gonna be on for not long, and then we're gonna go backstage and we're gonna have some private conversations. Starting my words here tonight. So a lot of multitasking. So Frank, what do you think? What do you think of this concept?
I like it, man. You know, especially now, you know, people have found themselves more isolated than ever before, you know, with COVID and just this new way of living. People need human connections. Tony, I mean, you and I have met, I believe it was 2 occasions in Orlando, Florida. Mm-hmm. And outside of that, our relationship has grown through your channel, through these opportunities, through private phone calls that you and I have had, through, you know, calling you up and seeking counsel on a matter, and you doing the same with me. We built a relationship of trust that largely made use of this medium of, you know, the digital age that we now live in. So, you know, it reminds me of, like, for instance, like an AA meeting or something like that. You know, people are able to come in. They don't need to, you know, give all their information, but they're able to get the support they need and expect goodwill from people because they're all there, you know, willing to give out good things. And I think that's what you've established here by telling people, hey, come backstage with me. You know, we could talk about anything. We could talk about you. We could talk about me. If you got a beef with me, we could talk about that too. You know, and I think that's honorable. And I know your heart. I know who you are. You're somebody that genuinely cares about people and likes to help people. And, man, I've never seen you turn anybody away who needed somebody to talk to. So for me, this is just a par for the course. This is the type of dude you are. It doesn't surprise me one bit that you thought of something like this. And I'm looking forward to being part of it tonight.
Well, I appreciate that, Frank. And let's run back to you now. I talked to you today. And I'll give a quick backstory. I hadn't heard from Frank, and I sent him a couple messages, and there was certain concern because he kind of went we'll call it blackout mode. And I'm gonna give you guys a little tip, everybody watching. When you see somebody, a friend or something, and all of a sudden you see them off social media, or they don't respond to a text or a call, don't stop reaching out to that person. And that's a good bit of advice right there. And again, I don't give advice, I give support. So by reaching out to somebody, you're actually giving them support. You're showing that you actually give a shit. So it's important that when you notice something off about somebody, don't be afraid to intervene or ask a question. You're not prying, it's concern. So Frank, you want to tell us what happened in your life recently?
Yeah. Thank you. I'm smiling because I appreciate you, and you've been such a good friend to me, and you did not stop reaching out. You reached out to me a number of times. I had another death in the family, unfortunately. My uncle, who basically is the patriarch of our family, just passed away. You know, he was the uncle that, you know, had the huge Rolodex, connected to anybody he needed to be connected to. He's the guy that had all the answers before Google came around, and he was still more reliable than Google. He can give you life experience. He can give you things that Google can't give you. He was somebody in the family that held things together, somebody that can be trusted. And he unfortunately had an untimely death here recently. Now, like Tony said, you know, I chose to, you know, just temporarily disable my Instagram account and just kind of, I wanted to recalibrate because I lost my father in June. My uncle was at my father's funeral. This was in June again. And my uncle just passes away here in August. And a dear friend of mine, whom I grew up with, you know, our fathers worked together. He was at the funeral. He's my age. He fell off a ladder and died right after the funeral. It's insane. And the reality of the world is this, you know, tomorrow's not promised to you, and that you cannot take life for granted. You cannot take people for granted. And in the last few years or so, every time I spoke to my uncle, and mind you, he's a strong guy. He's the bull in the china shop. I would always tell him, Uncle Jimmy, I love you. You know, and sometimes he'd say it back, sometimes he didn't, but I knew he loved me deeply. He told me one time in my life, and that was all I needed to hear, that he loved me. But I told him all the time because I appreciated him that much. And when an untimely death affects your family, there's a process. There's mourning that happens, and in mourning, there's an opportunity for growth, right? And what I did was choose to put away all outside influences in my life that were coming from social media and things like that. And I choose to take that time to reflect, take that time to pray, take that time to grow as a man, to recalibrate, to look at my purpose, to look at their purposes, my father and my uncle, and ask myself, what did they leave on the table? What did they want to give me? What did they want to see from me? What were they expecting to give from their own lives? And what were they not able to finally effectuate? What was left on the table? And I had to look at those things and say, hey, man, I want to, first of all, achieve all that God created me to do and have an impact in this world for the short time that I will be here. But also, if there's a way to carry forth their legacy, I will do that. And in order for me to recognize what that legacy is, and I'm still doing that, so it's not a completed mission. It probably never will be completed. I had to eliminate distractions in my life. I made a couple of YouTube videos, recently that were a little bit edgy, a little bit aggressive, a little bit angry, and I realized that, that's not the right way to go about it. At times it is, but in reality, you have to look at your purpose. You have to look at what you're trying to accomplish, whom you're speaking to, what really matters, what are the weighty words that you have for this world, and you have to deliver them under a spirit of anointing. That is to say, when you are passionate about something, when you are walking in something that is purpose, something that you were born to do, and you step into that light, out of you will flow light, and darkness will have to flee. So if in my case, choosing to do something with, cinematic value or, whatever, it may not be necessary. What matters is that you deliver the truth, and that you deliver the truth, if you can, with gentleness. And if it's not received with gentleness, then you'll explore other avenues. But what you want to have in life is you want to have excellence of reputation. You want to have people look at you and ask the same question I asked. What did he leave behind? Because I want to pick it up and I want to run with it. So going forward, that is fully my intention. We have tremendous challenges that lay on the horizon. Challenges that affect your family and mine, challenges that affect this country, that affect this world, that affect our faith, our walk. Everything that we do is under attack right now. We have a living, breathing adversary all the time. So if we're not serious about that reality, and we're not willing to take up that fight, take up that mantle and move forward effectively and effectually, then we're going to be mowed down, and we're going to leave things on the table that we were meant and created to leave here on earth. In our walk. So yeah, it's been a little rough, but all growth, because all things happen for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purposes. Romans 8:28.
I don't know about you guys, but I could have just kicked back and listened to Frank for the next hour. Frank speaks with so much conviction. I mean, I see such genuine character every time. Every time he speaks, I just see a genuine character every single time. That's why I love having him here. Now, Frank, you had mentioned the truth, okay? And it's funny because the new book I'm reading, the first part of this book, it says, the truth is the property of no single person because it belongs to everyone who will accept it. What a great beginning to a book.
Yeah.
So, this is the book that I'm starting to read. It's by our buddy MD, MGTOW Dictionary. I would recommend this to everybody. I know I got links for this book. I just finished this book too, which I want everybody to all the guys that actually read these books. And I think we'll have a conversation about these for sure. But this is the one I just started reading. And it's funny when you mention truth because, a lot of people have come down on the black pill. And again, I don't call myself anything. The pills are analogies. They're basically, they break down lifestyles and the way you live. And we know our philosopher is hold the truth hostage. Okay. So I have a link for his channel in here also, I believe. But check him out. He goes over philosophies. But You know, the truth is, I had done a video a while back last year, but I always say the truth is hard to swallow. It really is for some people. But I think that when people face the truth, you have a better grasp on reality, because reality and truth are in line. So
yeah, there's a quote that comes to mind from Winston Churchill, something about the truth is so valuable that it's protected by a bodyguard of lies. It goes something like that. I'm paraphrasing it, but yeah, and it is for everybody. Yeah.
A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still getting its pants on.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a Churchill quote, if I'm not correct.
But when it's all said and done, the only thing that will stand is the truth. That's a guarantee. All truth, time reveals all truth. That is also a guarantee.
Yep.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than when people say that's your truth and that's my truth. No, there's one truth.
There's the truth in your opinion.
Yeah, I really like the way you put it. The truth is the property of no single person, because it belongs to everyone who will accept it. And think about that, to everyone who will accept it. So that was the first thing when I opened this book, and I just opened it today. That was the first thing that was in this. And to me, that kind of hit me hard. So it kind of sets up, I think it's a great setup for reading this book. And again, I've read the intro, I've read that in the introduction only. So, but that's coming soon. So you never know. You guys check this out. I got links for it in the description of this video. So, but yeah, I've got the link in there. The live link is pinned to the top. So anybody who wants to come on on. Let me say hi to some people in the chat here. I'm going to start right at the top. I don't want to miss everybody. Anybody? Mr. C, good to see you. We have Emmanuel Godson, Armiga, Make Ireland Great Again. Good to see you. JP Hives, what's up, brother? Good to see you. We've got Dark Blade, good to see you, brother. John Boston, always a pleasure. Peg Bell, always here. Love you, Peg, man. Glad you're here for these discussions. Sometimes I wonder how you can handle all us men like this. So I'll give her a lot of credit. We got Woody Johnson. Woody, my brother, good to see you. Alexio said he's back in town, back from vacation. Man, I hope you had a good vacation. Caduceus, my brother, good to see you too. Vivian, I don't want to miss anybody. RM4976, good to see you too, man. Yeah, so this is backstage night. So we're not going to be on that long tonight. So I'm still waiting for, I think Gonzo's going to jump on shortly, and I invited a few other people, and I did get some emails, but that link that's pinned to the top there, I just went ahead and did it. I didn't plan on doing it, but yeah. So what's going to happen is we're gonna kind of just sit here and talk about a few things, and then we're going to go backstage, and we're going to have an uncensored, unfiltered conversation. When I say uncensored, I don't mean that I censor anything, but I think what happens is when somebody does come on like a live stream or a live panel, they tend to censor themselves. Okay, so the whole idea of this concept was that when you're backstage, it's not being broadcasted. This is it. This is raw. It's uncut. Talk to us about an issue you have. Maybe you need to get something off your chest. Or maybe you got a beef with me, because I got a few emails that people have a beef with me. I guess I'm not MGTOW. Did I ever put that label on myself? No. Anybody doesn't know, it means men going their own way. But I would have to say I'm probably more MGTOW than most of the MGTOWs out there, because I've been living by myself for 20-something years, live in a home by myself, have my own business, travel when I want, do what I want. So I'm going to say I'm probably more MGTOW than most of the MGTOWs out there. So, but do I put that label on myself? Absolutely not. When it comes to pills and labels like that, like I've said, I'm the Tony pill. Adapt or die. So,
you know, it's funny, Tony. You mentioned how, and this idea about allowing people to come backstage is because a lot of people tend to censor themselves. Yeah, it's an interesting concept, because you could think about it like, why would people try to censor themselves? Well, I think there's a couple of reasons, right? one, the way things are nowadays on social media, which makes lots of things very antisocial, is it's like you're walking on eggshells. You say the wrong thing, you could either offend someone or get a channel taken down or all kinds of things nowadays, right? And then two, going back to how I had mentioned when it comes to public speaking, one of the things that I believe people are afraid of is, you're being judged. You're being judged about what you say, how you say it. People start making assumptions on who you are, and a lot of people don't have, the skin. They don't have the tough skin to take it, and they get offended very easily. And I think this is what causes people either to not jump on, or when they do jump on, to do a lot of that self-censoring.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like you say, self-censoring. I've got a comment here from where is it here?
Yeah, I saw it.
I don't want to miss this comment. I think it's a shot at Caduceus. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I always see the same people here every day and everywhere across these streams. Convince me this isn't a cult with people looking for clout like Caduceus, who I see everywhere looking for friends. Now, you know what? I'm gonna disagree, and we're never gonna agree to disagree on this channel because I don't know if you know, but if you watch, I can't stand that. We can just disagree. Well, I disagree with you. I think that there's ideas, there's discourse, and there's also rational discussion. And I think that's important now. There's not a lot of platforms like these where you can go on and you can talk. Okay? So again, the purpose of you are welcome to click that link, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think that's a fake name. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but you're welcome to come on and view your, just give your opinion live right now. You're welcome to do it. No problem there. So.
Well, that goes back, this right here, this comment goes back to kind of like what I was saying, right? A lot of people will self-censor themselves because they're afraid of getting comments like this, thinking that, or I'm being judged. Oh man, people are thinking I'm here because I'm trying to gain fame or put myself out there. It's none of that. I got a busy ass life. I've been awake for, I don't know how many hours now, because I'm in another country. And, I come on here because I love Tony. I love Frank. I love Gene, who's on here. I love Gonzo. I love these men who are out here to help other men and to share ideas. I don't agree with everything that these guys say. I'm certain they don't agree with what I say. But the idea is to share your thoughts, your point of view, and to contribute to the dialogue. So, I'm not here for anything other than that, just to give my 2 cents and take it or leave it.
Yeah. What did I tell you guys before the stream when we were backstage? What did I tell you about my channel?
You don't care if you're singing out tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's not going to affect me in any way, shape, or form. I don't do this for money. I don't do it for anything. I do it to share and to bring like-minded people together. No, it's not a cult. In fact, there's a good chance that's Rollo. That's his comment. I'm just going to throw that out there. This could be Rollo. Rollo, you're welcome to come on. So let me give Caduceus' response here. Let me see here. I don't want to miss it. Let me see. Yeah. So there's a response from Caduceus.
No, it's interesting. I could let Frank speak for himself, but I think he, like myself, I think a lot of these discussions are interesting. I don't classify myself as any kind of pill. I'm on the family pill. I got a family that I love, and I'm leading, and I'm taking care of, and I'm working for. But my presence online, if anybody has any curiosity, I'm an English teacher, and that's what I do online. My presence online is to help people, native English speakers or learners, to be better and more confident English speakers. I'm on here because, like I said before, Tony is a great guy. Frank's a great guy. The guys that come on here are great guys, and I love being a part of it. And it's always an honor to be when I'm invited. So about this clout and cult and all this nonsense, I think. Thanks for the little kind of jab to cause and start a discussion.
Yeah, we appreciate it. That's why we're here. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I want to give a shout out to Pops. That's Don't Get Me Started. Pops is an amazing character. You know Pops, don't you, Mr. Finn? No, you don't know Pops? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've met him.
He's Grimm's dad. He was on Primal Mans. So, in fact, we're going to bring Pops in right now. There he is.
Hey. There you go.
How you doing?
Fix my camera. Trying to fix this camera here. There we go.
Oh, let me tell you something, guys.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
How's
If Pops is coming backstage tonight, we're going to have a hell of a time. So get your backstage pass now, because you don't want to get Pops started. That's for sure.
1 second. I'm just going to fix this cam.
Oh, no worries. Let me, yeah, here we go. Dark Blade. Honestly, I love this podcast. I appreciate you, man. And let's see what RM has to say. If we were clout chasers, we'd be in another chat with more viewers. Exactly. Or a Rolo fanboy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Yep. Emmanuel says my participation is an entertaining therapy for me. I frequent Tony streams because I stay awake at night. It keeps me sane. That's great, man, Emmanuel. I love Emmanuel, man. He's our brother from. So.
Yeah, I caught Emmanuel one time. On a live stream with Apologia Church, Apologia Studios. It was really nice. Him and I were chatting in the chat, and that was funny to run into him there.
Yep. This is a great point Caduceus made. Echo chambers. Echo chambers. I had a nice talk with Gonzo about this today. That's the last thing I want on my channel is an echo chamber. I do not want that. I want ideas discussed. I want different viewpoints. I do not want an echo chamber. That Mighty Zane from South Florida. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, JP, fuck Rolo. I love it, man. I love it. So, Pops, what do you say? How's it going tonight?
I'm doing good. My daughter-in-law told me you guys are on. She was like, oh, Bruno and them, they're on. I was like, all right, I'll go on. I'm doing great.
Well, good. Good to see you. I want to introduce you. I'm not sure. I think you met Mr. Finn, the Finster. Possibly? No? Okay.
No, my first time.
Yeah, we got Mr. Finn, then we got Frank Pesci. So.
Frank Pesci.
Now, I believe Pops.
I love that last name.
Yeah, I believe you guys are from the same neck of the woods, man, because I know Frank is from New York City. So.
What part?
The Bronx.
Brooklyn? I'm from originally Brooklyn, Bensonhurst, but then I ended up in Staten Island. Staten Italy, we call it.
Went across the Guinea Gangplank.
Yeah, my father moved there. My father was a cop in Brooklyn, and then he took us over the bridge when it went up. I remember that bridge was 50 cents to go over. Now it's like $12.
It's like $19.
Oh, it's $19. That's round trip.
Maybe.
They said they only needed 50 cents each way to maintain the bridge, and it ends up they need $9-10 to maintain the bridge.
That's the fourth largest suspension bridge in the world. You know that? That bridge is huge. The Verrazano Bridge, for anybody who's wondering which bridge we're talking about, it's massive.
Isn't that the one from Saturday Night Live?
It is.
Saturday Night Fever, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Saturday
it is.
Yeah.
Right. The one they were jumping off.
Are you still in Staten Island?
Oh, no, I'm out.
Where are you now?
I moved. I'm in Missouri up in the mountains. My son
I live in
up
Missouri
here.
In the mountains. Where do you live?
In the Ozarks.
I live in the Ozarks, too.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk offline, buddy. I moved out here a couple of years ago. We're going to go backstage.
We'll hook up.
You got it, pal. Well, good to see you. I always love meeting New Yorkers out here, especially people from the city. we're a very special breed. And if you would come out here, you must be called here for a great purpose. So I'm very much looking forward to meeting you in a minute.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I got a paisan here now. That's great.
Absolutely.
There's Michael Foster. Michael Foster, good to see you, man. Good to see you. You haven't been on in a while, but everybody who's watching, again, tonight is going to be a backstage party. We're only going to go about 30 minutes longer at the most. So if you want in, I can have up to 6 more people. So start clicking that link that I pinned to the top. The quicker you get in, the quicker you're going to be in the backstage.
So what have you guys been talking about tonight?
Well, I got to bring on a quick guest here right now, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to introduce to you guys the president of the Manosphere, Anthony Dream Johnson.
Howdy. How's it going, boys? What's up?
Johnson, how are you, sir?
Doing pretty good. Feeling very presidential today.
Yeah.
You look it.
Thanks, man. Glad to be here. Sorry I'm late.
Tell us what's new in the presidential office. We'd like to
know. Today I had a very big interview with the Renaissance of Man podcast. Over 3 hours of amazing podcast content. A lot of fun. Will Spencer's the host. He's got a lot of stuff going on in the Manosphere that not everyone knows about yet, but you guys will see it soon. Big projects in the works that are super cool. And anyway, with regards to the conversation, it was very productive. Talked a lot about the Manosphere Civil War, the various conflicts in the Manosphere that are legitimate or not legitimate. Kind of went through all the issues on that. And it was a lot of fun, man. We went also into kind of like, politics and the insanity that has become temporarily at least normal in the world today, beyond the Manosphere, of course, with all the shit going on. So it was a good conversation, and we linked it all back to the Manosphere and masculinity and femininity and really where America and the West needs to go towards a very masculine golden age instead of this feminist utopian woke nightmare that we're in.
I heard China is doing something with their young kids that they can't be like feminine, like they're getting rid of all this feminine stuff. And
they just fired a bunch of people, a bunch of effeminate soy boys off of their state-run government TV shit.
Right.
Yeah, they got no. I mean, people say feminism is the child of communism, and I think that's mostly correct. But it's also become its own monster, and it's turning on its father or whatever, communism. And that's why you see feminism affect even countries like China that are, fully fucking communist. Yeah, it's a shit show. It's affecting their boys too. I know the military in China is very on edge about basically, like in America, the boys being more effeminate. It's a problem for the military, and they're much more heavy-handed, and they just go right into it. They don't care about all this woke bullshit. But yeah, feminism's a monster, and it does not discriminate. White, black, Chinese, white, whatever, man. They don't give a shit.
I want to ask the president of the Manosphere, is there any, I don't want to call it dirt, but is there anything up and coming that you can kind of wet our whistle right now to look forward to? Excluding which I want to tell everybody, I've got links for the 21 convention in the description of the video. And so if anybody wants to come, you can see Michael Foster speak, Anthony Dream Johnson, a lot of great speakers. Come and have a great time. It's time to have a real world interaction with men. So I've got links in the description of the video. Click that link, check it out. I'm sure if anybody needed to talk with Anthony Johnson personally, that's not an issue about the convention, but it's something that guaranteed that every man will enjoy. So, we lost him, but yeah. So, Michael Foster, welcome.
What's up, brothers?
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah, welcome to the backstage show. This is it, man.
Oh, wait, we're all backstage now? We're not live?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Hold up, not yet. Easy now.
The things I can say.
Rein it in.
All right. I'll be well behaved for the moment.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you rant.
We've only just begun.
I know things. I have connections.
Yeah. Just so anybody that's just new to this today, again, I've got John Steele. I see you back there. I'll bring you back in when you want to come in, if you want to be for the backstage. that's cool. But I can have 10 people backstage. That's 9, including myself. So I want to see you guys start lining up in there. We got Caduceus coming on. Good to
I'm
see
back.
you.
Sorry about that, guys.
What's up, dude?
Real Caduceus.
Yeah, it
The doc
is.
is here.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be nice and quiet because I'm doing some studying right now, but I'll pop in and out.
Well, good, man. Yeah, let's keep going here for a few more minutes. About another 20 minutes. Michael Foster, anything new for us to say?
I'm 80% done with 2 of my talks for 21. I'm going to really focus on this year. So I've got the talks for men basically done. I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, what can I give these guys they haven't heard before that's going to be helpful, So been thinking about that a lot. And I've been reading a good book by Edwin Friedman called A Failure of Nerve. I highly recommend. He didn't finish it. It was kind of a manuscript, and he died, I think, of a heart attack or a car accident. I don't know, whatever it was very sudden. And it's a great book, and I think it really helps understand why men are attracted to these sort of alpha guru type of figures that they keep getting taken advantage by and getting kind of, like I think of the red pill as super helpful. But it's not, like I always tell people, it's a semester. It's not a degree. You know what I mean? It's something to help you get out of a rut, to help you change the way you think about intersexual dynamics and all that stuff. All of us have heard of ad nauseum at this point. But why do the guys get stuck in these rut under the thumbs of these kind of almost cult-like leaders, So I'm going to talk about that in one of my talks, and been researching, thinking a lot about that, trying to prepare for 21 to make sure I've got something to bring that's not just the same old.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I had put what was the essay that you sent me? It's in my YouTube community.
Shoot, I don't know, dude. I read a lot. I think I wrote
that was the
Tactics of Manipulators.
Yeah, it was it was it was about.
So yeah, that was a little ebook I wrote just for friends, reflecting on what the tactics of manipulators are. That's actually related to what I'm going to talk about, very much so. What I think it is that masculinity is 80% caught and 20% taught. So it's handed down from man to man. It's like a baton. And so then when it's not handed down, you have to kind of start from scratch as a man and put it together yourself. Yeah. I think those guys that have to do that, not all of them have the strength to do it. Very few of us do. And those guys are very vulnerable because what they're looking for is the affirmation of a father-like figure. These alpha guru guys adopt the posture of a father-like figure, but they monetize them. So if for my kid to honor me, I don't want him to give me money. I want my sons to go be great, right? That's how they'll honor me. And so my investment in my sons is to help them go out there and get these things done. Whereas with these alpha gurus, they withhold affirmation and they give affirmation, but it's tied to you doing what they want you to do, which in the context of the Manosphere is tied to Gumroad, tied to classes, to consulting. And we all here know that a man's time is worth money. So it's not that we are, in essence, against people being compensated for their time. It's that it's BS. A lot of the Gumroad is BS. And like they could get this just about anywhere. And these guys talk it up. So my whole thing with sales, you want to be an ethical salesman, don't make promises you can't keep. If your product can do it, sell it, tell it, right? Win them to it. If your product can't do it, then you're a liar, right? You're not a salesman. By the way, this is my lovely wife, Emily, and she's wearing.
Oh yeah, she gonna make women great again. She's coming out this year. She gonna make it?
I don't know. October is a pretty busy month for our family. We're gonna see what we can do.
Cool, man. Very cool.
Hey, Michael, I love what you just said about masculinity is 80% caught and 20% taught. That's a genius observation, man. I'd be interested in reading what you wrote if you'd be willing to share it.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop my email, Frank. I'll send it over to you, and I'll tell everybody the same thing with that thing on manipulators. Take it and make it your own. Do whatever you want with it. I just want it to be helpful to people.
Nice.
I'm gonna
no
bring in
doubt.
somebody right now, David Dryman. I want you to go ahead and say something so I know you're legit. I can bring you in, David.
Oh man,
What the hell?
Very legit. Very legit.
What's up, Viv? How you doing, girl? You're a girl in the middle today.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm just listening.
Well, I mean, you're talking about, what's going on today. I mean, just look at what's going on television. Every show, there's two guys with a beard kissing.
Gross. I don't watch TV.
It's too much. Oh, it's like overkill.
Pops, is that why you don't have a beard?
I mean, their agenda. No, well, their agenda is to basically show two men kissing. No matter what, you could turn on. I was watching a medieval show, and it was showing the king was winking at the knight. I mean, like, what? It's getting crazy. No matter what show you watch now, they're not doing the girl thing like lesbians. No, they're just sticking to the men.
dude, the Christians were 100% right, man. They talked about the slippery slope of gay marriage and all this stuff, and look how fast that slippery slope went. They hit the nail on the head, man. Nobody wanted to listen.
The Almighty does not like.
Tony, you asked me before my phone crapped out for a second. I fixed it though. In the upcoming teasers, and I have two things I can say. One is there's a big interview with Elliot Hulse coming out this Saturday from the Redman Group. That'll be on 21 Studios and the Redman Group channels. That's Saturday at 5 p.m. It's a big thing, very, very big, awesome interview. And second, on Sunday in the evening, probably around 6 p.m., there's a big documentary on the fraud father himself, Frollo Rollery Tomasi, the Hillary Clinton of the Manosphere. It's about 2.5 hours, and it's very similar to the Donovan Shart documentary coming out. And it's gonna very neatly expose what a fraud this guy is in a very condensed, comprehensive way. A single video that people can point to.
Yeah, I'll buy some popcorn at the store, man.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, I look forward to that Sunday night. Big drop on the Fraud Father. We also put out a little meme today. It's pretty dope. Fake and Faker. It's like a Dumb and Dumber meme. It's pretty awesome. If I don't say so myself. You guys can check that out on the community tab of 21 Studios. Some of our finest work, I'd say. It's fine artwork.
That's great. Yeah. Speaking of artwork coming up too here in the next couple weeks, I've got to reach out to Elliot Hulse, so I'll have Elliot Hulse on this channel. So what I'm going to do is hopefully have him on for maybe say about an hour, and then open up the panel so everybody can come on and talk live to Elliot, which I think is going to be rare. I think that's something that that's not done that often. So I'm hoping that he's going to agree with my show concept, which I think he will. I consider Elliot a good friend, and I know he's looking forward to come on. And then I believe it's going to be next week. I am going to have on Arthur Quan Lee. And,
why does that name sound familiar?
Well, he was on The Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson. He was at the Bond event. He's an artist that was basically
I remember that guy.
Kind of kicked out of the artist community because he has a voice. He has a real voice. So we're going to hear his story, and I think it's going to be real interesting. I got to meet him at the Bond event with Jesse Lee Peterson. So I think that's going to be a very interesting show. And we'll probably do the same thing, talk with him for a bit, then open up the panel and let him have it. So that's coming up here. So, that's what I got coming up. So. Anybody got anything else? Because we're gonna head backstage not too long. I want anybody who wants to come in. I see we got some people in the chat. If you want to be backstage, again, I can have up to 10 people, and you want to talk unfiltered, uncut, uncensored. You want to talk to us about an issue. You got a beef with me, which I got a couple emails. Again, I get it, guys. I'm not a MGTOW or whatever you want to call it. I get it. So you can back off the emails. All right. But I am going to say I'm probably more MGTOW than any of you guys.
You are more MGTOW than me.
I hear that I'm more Christian than some Christians apparently, so I find that that's pretty entertaining.
It's tough to match Michael though.
Oh yeah, not even close. Of course.
Yeah.
I got a book coming out in a couple weeks. You can read "It's Good to Be a Man" by Canon Press. I think it's like the first week of October.
Nice.
That's really cool. It's gonna be like in all the stores and stuff.
It will be
Like Barnes
in
and Noble?
some of the stores and stuff.
Oh.
I don't know how they're gonna do it. I mean, it's I used to work for a publisher. It's on Lightning Press, which means it'll be listed on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. That's a directory that they pull all that stuff from.
Nice.
It's nice to have a real publisher. I just give them my manuscript and move on with my life. So,
Michael, will we be able to get copies of it for 21 Summit, like attendees and stuff like that?
I am working on that. I gotta talk to them where it's at. I don't know that they got the cover art done yet. Because I kind of, when you sign a contract like that, it's kind of all in their hand now. So see what they do. Hopefully, it's not like a dude in a dress.
Yeah, cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'll obviously buy a copy immediately and do what I can to share it, man. 100%.
On the back, I want like endorsed by the president of the Manosphere.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Let me know. Let me get the book and I'll check it out and do that 100%.
Would you do like a real book tour?
I don't want to. No, I don't. I don't have the time for that.
On Amazon?
No.
It'll be on Amazon. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I'll post a link to that in all the videos for sure.
Someone's telling me like when
And
you publish a book,
Michael,
you want to hand your book off to everybody. I was like, who wants to do that? Like I was down at the 21. There was one guy that was trying to sell his book to me really heavy, but once you publish a book, once you get through the pain of it, you kind of just never want to write again and move on with your life. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But
if you can't sign my book, you can sign my avatar.
I will sign it. I will say to whoever you really are, I enjoyed our conversation that one time.
There you go. Perfect.
I sign every book the same way. Fear God and keep His commandments.
I want to welcome JP. JP, how you doing tonight?
How's it going, fellas? I'm just chilling, listening.
Good. Well, good to have you on, man. Always a pleasure to have you on. Let me bring on Anthony Johnson again.
Where's that dirty papist at? Where's that dirty Catholic at? Is he not around here tonight?
No, we don't see him in the chat. Not yet. We've got a few Catholics. We got Paul Galvin and Anthony Velasquez, but
that's the one I want. Anthony Velasquez is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm a retired Catholic.
Masculinity.
Yeah, retired Catholic too.
Retired Catholic.
What does that mean? Retired?
What does that mean? Right.
We're not Catholic anymore.
Yeah. Well, I was baptized, communion, and confirmation. So
Same,
I went through I guess that's the fundamentals in being Catholic, at least in terms of like childhood, right?
Yeah, I guess the confirmation didn't work because like within a year, that's when I retired.
Yeah.
It didn't take, huh?
No,
it didn't take. I guess I wasn't confirmed.
So I when I was dating my wife, we were still in high school, and my now father-in-law required her to go to one Roman Catholic thing for every Protestant thing, and I would go with my girlfriend at the time to Catholic mass, and then my father-in-law, before we were married, asked me to attend this rediscovering the Catholic faith class. So I went to it, and I was totally respectful, and I just listened, and I'd ask good questions. And like the nun, she was intense. She was legit. She's like the nuns out of the Blues Brothers. You remember, like, if you ever seen that movie? So she's like, she's real intense. And I'm like, look, I don't believe the Eucharist really turns into the body and blood of Jesus. Am I going to hell?
Yeah, that's morbid.
And she's like, yes. And I said, oh, you're awesome. Like, I just respected her because she's like, she's not ashamed of what she believes. And like, how do you not respect that, right? She's not like trying to make it more acceptable to me. So anyway, we kept talking. And then a few weeks in, my father-in-law receives a letter telling him they want to move me into another class. So they moved me into the basement. So I get moved from that class to the basement. And in the basement, there's some like soft PC chick saying that you can be saved not just her Jesus, but Buddha and everything else. and I remember asking that woman, I said, hey, have you talked to the nun upstairs? Because she would tell you you're going to hell. So anyway.
The nun wants some real estate up there, man.
Yeah, that nun, she's all in. How do you not respect that?
But she's all in, but she's keeping her secret. She wants a little real estate up there. She doesn't want neighbors.
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen that happen a few times, and it's the infiltration thing where like they'll have separate Bible studies or separate catechism classes or whatever it is, and one of them's liberal and one of them's like more towards, Orthodox based theology.
That's exactly what happened this time.
If I can interject and just derail this whole conversation, Tony asked about upcoming stuff and this and that. So tonight I put out the word finally on email blasts, the newsletters, and social media that we're not accepting volunteers for 20.
Oh.
What was he going to say?
Someone should volunteer to fix his internet.
Probably having a hardware issue. It seems like it's a hardware
Rolo's
issue.
active, man. He's got the DDoS going tonight.
Maybe he's on his phone.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Anyway, yeah, we're accepting volunteers for 21 Summit. I don't know how much that got cut off. So if you check out the Twitter and check out the YouTube channel and anything like that, you'll see an application form to volunteer at 21 Summit.
And the volunteers interact with all the speakers. I got to interact with the volunteers last year, and honestly, they were some of the greatest people at the conference you could talk to. It's like a really good opportunity for people that want to step up and be involved and actually help a really pretty amazing conference be put on. Anthony, like when a certain man tried to do his ripoff of the 21 convention who shall remain nameless, I knew he couldn't do it because this isn't something that you do on the first try. Right. This is something that takes years of experience. Yep. And so the volunteers, Viv, you were one of them that I interacted with last year. We're great people. And you get, if you want to mix with Elliot Hulse and Craig Adams, and I saw that we have Susan Vinegar or
yes.
Vinick. Yeah, she's a pretty fantastic writer.
I think it's Venker.
Venker, okay. If you want to interact with those people as a volunteer, it's a great way to get in the mix and actually help something kind of cool get done.
It kind of goes in line with the show tonight because really, as a volunteer, you're basically getting a backstage pass.
Yep.
You are, and you see it. It's pretty cool. That's where I met you, Tony. I got to hang out with you, and some of the security guys were just really cool. Really went a long way for me as someone trying to take a read of the quality of the organization.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Michael. 100%, man. I mean, everything you just said, I can back up. 100%. Like it. I love what I do, and the volunteers are actually pretty central to what we do. We need them to set up, tear down, and throughout the event too. And yeah, the volunteers get kind of insider access to what we do. I was even saying in the newsletter today, I was saying they get access to the secret, super duper command center, that kind of secret room we have for staff and speakers only.
Where I go for my coffee.
Your coffee.
Yeah,
your makeup,
becomes
right,
a mess.
Tony. Yeah.
Who did I just lose? I lost somebody here.
JP.
It was JP.
Yeah. Frank, I want to go to Frank Pesci because I want to go to Frank and ask him about 21 Convention, what he's been attended a couple times.
It's the greatest convention I've ever been to.
Damn.
Yeah, and Anthony, I have nothing but respect for you. I've interacted with you privately. I've been to your home. Like I said, nothing but respect. That convention is so well done. You're not only interacting with some great speakers, people who are self-made, people who are not ashamed of the work that they're doing, but you're growing. The first year I went to Patriarch Convention, and at that time, I was really trying to learn how to become the best father that I could be. I was having some challenges, with being a father, with, particularly my older son who's in the room over there, but, he's great now. This guy's getting ready to play D1 football. We have a great relationship. Good things are happening. But anyway, I was able to get around other men, get inspired, get equipped. And really, by the end of the 3 or 4 days that I was there, to give an awesome testimonial as an attendee, which It's on the 21 Studios, actually. I gave an awesome testimonial with George Bruno. He did the interview at the time, Tony's brother.
Yep.
And man, I went back and did it again. 21 Con, same thing, but this time I had a basis for knowing who these people were. Now, mind you, the first time I went, I had never heard of Red Pill, never heard of anything like this. I just saw that there was an opportunity for men that was out there, and that there was a very specific target for what the convention was looking to do, and that was to equip men to be fathers who either were already fathers, who were going to look to be fathers in the future. And that the convention did not by any means miss the mark. I left there fired up, man. And it really played a central part in changing my life, my attitude, and my ability to just be a better father. And then the following year I went back because I wanted to be around the same people again. I wanted to be around the volunteers. I wanted to be around the speakers. I wanted to be around the guests. I wanted to be at the hotel. It was a fantastic hotel. It was, in Orlando, beautiful place to be. I wanted to be part of that community because now I had a point of reference. And not to say, be part of the larger community because it's an ideology that, I wanted to adopt. I think Michael said earlier, it's a semester, not a degree. I'm not somebody who consumes a ton of Red Pill content, but I can tell you that I'm probably just as Red Pill as anybody else out here. I lead my household. I walk with my head up. I'm very intentional about the things that I do. I'm very intentional about living on purpose, living with purpose. I'm very intentional about leaving a legacy. I'm intentional about investing in my sons, because if something happens to me tomorrow, guess what? They have to carry the torch. And it's my job to raise them up to carry the torch anyway, so that they can be the men that they're called to be, So 21 was central in consolidating that message for me, because I came from a strong Italian heritage in New York City, where that was already part of who we were. That was in our DNA. But to see that message consolidated in such an organized fashion, like the 21 convention, and I mean, really, they make you feel like royalty. If Anthony wasn't on this call, I would be speaking no differently. I would speak just as genuinely as I'm speaking now. And you know what? I will even give you a personal takeaway that I had there. I met a former Navy SEAL, Richard Graham. Okay. And he came to the 21 convention. It was his first time at the convention. And he made a statement. It was almost like it was kind of like a backstage meeting, it seemed to me, as we were sitting in the hotel, area that we had rented out. And he says, I would love to follow God, and I would love to be part of a church, but there's no pastors or men out there that I respect to lead me in the church. And bro, when he said that, it was like an arrow went through my chest. I was like, dude,
damn,
man, I've been saying that for so long, but I could never articulate it as simply as you just did. I said, bro, that spoke to the core of my soul. And I went over to him and we spoke, and he said, Frank, I did 6 tours of duty in combat theater, Frank. He goes, when I look at these soft preachers that are out there, when I look at these compromising, message givers that are out there in the church, I can't follow a man like this. And I said, brother, you're going to find the right place for you. And so am I, because I've been praying this thing for a long time. And you know what? As a success story, he found what he was looking for. I found what I was looking for. And not only did we find what we were looking for, but we became that. And, for those of you that follow Rich, he's got an awesome business down in South Florida. He's leading men. He's training men how to be tactical, how to be equipped. But he's also teaching men how to be men, giving them the fundamentals, that 80% caught, 20% taught that was mentioned here earlier. He's giving them that 80% part.
He's actually Central Florida, by the way. I train at his place still sometimes. He's awesome, man. Love that guy.
And he ended up becoming a speaker. So this is the type of organic, movement that 21 convention is. People go there as attendees, people go there as spectators, and they become part of it, because it's really special, Anthony. And I hope that I can be there this year with you guys. It's a really special thing, and it's had a great impact on me, sir.
Dude, that's extremely well put, man. Thank you for all that.
Yeah, there's a great testimonial. I think Anthony Johnson has to clip that and throw it on 21 Studios. So
I will.
You hit that on the money.
I want to welcome Peg. First time. She's been in our chat forever.
Hi, Peg.
Good to see you.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
we can hear you
Mhm.
loud and clear.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, this technology is rather new to me. So, my phone, I should say, I have a 2008 Windows phone, so I'm on my computer.
Okay.
But I just wanted to pop in for a minute so I can exit and let someone else in. Everything's fine on the farm. And I just appreciate each and every one of you and all that you've shared over the period of time that I've been kind of in the chat. And it's really interesting because for many of you, I'm probably old enough to be your mom or closely so. So I appreciate your perspective and the different things I can walk away with and learn and apply. So anyway, I just wanted to pop in to say hello. I really do exist.
Well,
Thanks,
we
Peg.
appreciate you because you've been a fixture here on my channel for a long time. And I know on Primal Man's channel, on Gonzo's channel, but we do appreciate you always being here for sure.
Well, I'm in support of all of your programs and what you do and what you talk about and everything that everyone brings to the table and offer. And,
That's really sweet.
it really is something to behold because there's not very many places where you can get it off your chest or speak your mind. And some people out there, I'm sure, need the help and guidance. And you guys provide a lot of good things. And I just wanted to say hi. I'll say bye now, but I'll be in the chat. And God bless y'all. All right. I'll see you on the side.
Thanks,
Thank
Peg.
Come
Nice
to
meet you.
22 convention.
Well,
Can
I
you
thought
come?
about that. Viv. I didn't realize that you had volunteered there. It would be like totally cool. But
Yeah, you love it. It's fun.
I have a farm to manage, and I don't have
You guys
livestock.
got cattle, or what do you guys got?
No,
Cattle?
I don't have livestock at this time, but I have quite the property to maintain. And
Where are you located?
in Ohio.
Okay.
What?
Oh yeah, you got
I'm
a
in
lot
Cincinnati.
I
You
know.
got-
I thought I should come visit your church. I'm in North Central Ohio.
Nice. We have a farm too. We've got chickens. We're getting ready to take on rabbits and pigs.
Oh, that'll be interesting. My farm is 27 acres, 12 tillable, and it is my happy place. And
What crops are you doing?
I've got hay fields right now,
Nice.
and
Hey,
and
it's big stuff.
they're doing really well. I have it worked out with my neighbor, where they have a bunch of cattle for beef, beef production, and so at least when I mow or have mown, I've got a large yard and a back pasture, back 40, some woods, and so it's a lot to maintain. And by yourself, it's a challenge, but I love it here out in the country, and I would encourage that anybody's interested, at least give it a try. Livestock in the past for me was we had cattle for a little while and alpacas, and my husband and I used to rescue horses. We'd go to slaughterhouse auctions and bring home a couple a month, put love and groceries to them, do some groundwork with them, and then move along to find new homes. So I lost my hubby about 3 years ago, so it's an
Sorry for
adjustment.
your loss, Peg.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So that being said, I don't like to do any public bloodletting, but just to let you know, that's why I'm managing this by myself. I retired from corporate America and the 9 to 5 and exchanged it for the 24/7 because there's just so much to get done. But all is going well, and like before, I'll see you on the sidelines. I'll say good night.
Okay.
We appreciate you, Peg.
Come back anytime, Peg.
Thanks,
Okay,
Peggy.
Thanks,
Bye.
Peg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dude, Peggy's cool, man.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, I like her.
When I hear women like that talk, I think for just like 5 seconds that maybe America will survive and not collapse.
Yes.
There's just a gap
Ohio's taking
between.
over, man. Ohio is this is where it's at, you guys. You got to realize we are your savior. Come to
Ohio?
Ohio.
Didn't Dayton, Ohio schools just force vaccinate the children without the parents' consent? I read that on the news.
We'll eject them. We'll eject them. We're taking over, man. We're taking over.
No, but
Don't
that was in
forget-
Ohio.
That is Ohio. That's right. Sometimes your
Don't
body
get
has a
me
zit that needs to be
started.
squeezed.
I
Right?
live
Let's
in
it up.
Florida. I live in Florida, bro.
How do we allow
Yeah.
that?
You're right, Pops. You're 100% right. That's why we live in the state of Missouri, man. We'll take a stand here. These people are undefeated.
This is the last hurrah here.
That's
I was
100% right.
I was born in Independence, Missouri. The Show Me State. I know.
You know,
A
brother.
lot
You know
of-
the mindset here. Then
You know what it is? A lot of
1980
ex-military came here.
84.
That's right. But also in
Yeah.
1985, man, it was the Royals versus the Cardinals. I'll never forget it as a little boy. So yeah, that's my state.
How about the Royals versus the Yankees with the bat with the pine tar on the bat? George Brett.
George Brett? George Brett
Remember
never
that
knew.
part?
I remember when it broke, there was a corked bat he had. I was there. I was
Yeah.
watching that on TV.
Well, George Brett hit a home run in the playoffs against the Yankees, and when he came running around, the catcher from the Yankees, I don't know if it was Munson at the time, he picked up the bat and showed the up. It was pine tar going all the way up it.
George Brett's a punk.
So
He's a
after he
punk.
did that, I started spraying pine tar on my bat when I was playing softball high up. I started crushing the ball, hit home run. The ball was sticking to my bat like highlight.
You get
It was
that
crazy.
backspin on it.
Yeah, I was hitting home run after home run with it. It was amazing.
When Bo Jackson was with the Royals, though, it was hot.
That guy was a great athlete.
Yeah, it's legit.
What a shame.
Yeah, really.
Well,
My dad was a Cardinals fan.
Anybody
your
that's
dad.
in the chat?
That's horrible. Like you don't like the Cardinals.
We're gonna be ending the stream shortly, and we're gonna go backstage. So
Sure.
I do have one person backstage already, so we got room for a couple more. And if you're backstage, hang tight, and we'll cycle you on and off. But again, this is backstage pass night, so we're gonna talk about some things maybe that
We
normally
can't talk
don't
about.
Yeah, that's
It's true.
That's what tonight is about. So,
Great.
anybody else have any last words before we go backstage?
Yeah, I just want to make a last word. Listen, guys, we're having a good time here tonight, but we are definitely living in some very serious times. And for those of you that were here early on in the show, you heard me talk about perspective. With the recent passing of my father and my uncle, I've had the opportunity to gather some perspective, and I can tell you, the walls around us are closing in a way that gives you an opportunity to draw a line in the sand, to be the leader over your household, to invest in your children, to wash your wife in the water of the word, and to get ready for the things that are coming, because I promise you, they're not going to be pleasant. And if we allow these things to just come and not stand against them and not be a defender against the things that will come and try to touch our homes. And you heard it today, folks. The President of the United States said 100 million people will be vaccinated, and the unvaccinated are the issue. And that's a small part of the things that are coming. They are going to basically, when I say they, I mean just the adversary, just everything that's against the goodness of this world will stop at nothing. Will stop at nothing to try to squeeze out every ounce of goodness that's in you. So I would implore you guys to just stand strong, to invest in your faith, to invest in your family, to invest in preparedness. You heard it tonight. Some folks live in the country. They didn't make that decision lightheartedly. They made that decision because they have some foresight. They see things that are coming. And I will tell you, just stand strong and be ready, because the future, there's great opportunity that stands there, but it's only going to be the opportunity that we make of it. So that's the final word that I have on this panel here for tonight, is just preparedness for the opportunities that lie ahead.
Excellent, Frank. Always, like I said, I could just kick back and listen to Frank. I could just put him on the main screen and just sit back and listen to Frank. That's just always speaks with conviction.
He's shooting bullseyes, Frank. I mean, he's hitting it right on the money, even with the with religion. I mean, my son, and you know him, Michael, my son, you debated him once. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So my
a
son's
personality.
been to a lot of different, churches, and he said, "Dad, none of these pastors have any fire in them. It's like when you're speaking about the Almighty, you got to have that in you." And he says, "They're all dead. They're all mushes. They're all." He said, "I couldn't go to any of their churches, and then they're all teaching false doctrine." So between that and that, he was just, he was out. And that's one thing. You hit right on the head, Frank. There's no oomph in these pastors.
Well, that's because people
they
have
should be leading the way
compromised,
right now. They
people
should
have
be leading.
compromised. So think about what Tony said earlier. He said the reason we're having a backstage meeting tonight is because people will self-censor if they come on live. And that's 100% true, because what we're doing right now is a legal and binding document. We are online. We are showing our face. We are making statements. This is a profile of who we are and how we think. So people absolutely do self-censor, because what's going on here is available for the world to see. Attorneys use a program called Wayback Time Machine. They go online and they can dig out anything they want because the internet backs itself up. So you have to be decisive in what you say. You have to know what you want to say. You have to have a clear message and an agenda about where you're going. And you also have to know what not to say. And you have to know what time that you have to say it. So my point is, you could say what you want here with all that in mind, but you better be making the investment in your people, in your tribe at home. Because if you go down, the message still has to be carried out. Security still needs to function. Food and resource and supply chain still needs to be carried out because other people's lives depend on your planning, depend on the purpose that you're carrying. And most importantly, in my opinion, and it's not even my opinion, it's the truth. Most importantly is preparing your family and your tribe around you to have faith, to understand what it is that they believe, to understand where their principles lie, and to understand that in the face of death, that they cannot compromise that principle. If you read, there's plenty of biblical scriptures, especially in the book of Revelation, where it talks about they overcame by the word of their testimony. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb, and they did not love their own life. And that is to say that you are willing to take a stand and believe in something greater. And if you have this, conviction, all the things that you need for this life here, they will be carried out. I work hard for my family, and I do work hard. Believe me, I work hard for my family because it's my duty to feed them. I make sure that security is in order because it's my duty to protect them. I make sure that they're trained, educated, and equipped because it's my duty to equip them. I make sure that my wife has the right view of herself, the right view of our marriage, the right view of what it means to be a mother, because I equip her to do that. And I give her an environment that fosters that type of growth. So, as men and as leaders, and if there's no man in your household, you're the head of the household and you're a mother, as the head of your house, you must take these things seriously. You must be on your post because I promise you, the world wants your children, the world wants your family, the culture wants to destroy you, feminism wants to destroy you, communism wants to destroy you, the devil wants to destroy you. And what do you have? You have a faith that's imperishable. You have something that you can stand on and you can deliver the goods that your family and your tribe needs in their time of trouble. So again, I would just encourage everybody to be optimistic about the future, but be optimistic in the sense that you are going to do what it takes to rise to the occasion because you are needed.
I'll tell you that as a pastor of a church of about 175 people, we're not going to bow to this. We're not going to bow to these tyrants. Christ is king. I'm not ashamed. They can come find me. They know where I live. They listen to my phone calls. We're ready. And I just think what America needs is a bunch of people that say no.
Well, we need a bunch of you, Michael.
We need a bunch of
pastors that are going to go to bat. See, in the old days, back in the 17 and 1800s, the pastors took their rifles and went out there to fight with their tribe.
That's right. America was founded on Presbyterian. It's called the Black. England said that our Anglican bride ran away with the Presbyterian groom. This is the Black Robe Regiment. I think what we need these days is what people have to understand, what they don't get. Number one, I hear these guys that say that come and get my guns. Number one, they will come and get your guns. I don't know who the hell you think you are. Have you not watched what went down in Waco, Ruby Ridge, whatever? They'll come and get you. But that's not how this war is being fought. This war is being fought differently, right? This is a cold civil war that we're involved in.
Right.
It's fought through propaganda. It's fought through closing down your bank accounts. It's fought through censoring your speech. That's why everyone has to do county before country. I just had a conference on that. That's why you have to go local and create local networks. That's why internet keyboard warriors are going to fail because some tubby know-it-all can't convert in the real world. Right. These guys have to actually have some level of experience. That's why we moved out to the country. This is why I have several generators, why I have 3 deep freezes, this is why I have livestock. This is why, we're storing up on things. This is why we're taking and it's not because I think, it's what I was telling a good friend of mine. I called a friend up and I said, look, hey man, how many guns you got? Anthony did this with me a couple months ago. But how many guns you got, man? Where you at? He's like, look, I don't think we could take the American government. And I said, neither do I. But this is about gaining a degree of ability to protect yourself, ability to close the supply chain and be able to provide yourself. Right now, what we need is a bunch of people who decide, I'm going to be a little more independent. I'm going to be a little more self-sufficient, and come and get me. You want me? You want to do it? You want to have this fight? You want to make this a public thing? You think you can mandate vaccinations? You think you can force us to do this stuff? Come and get me. And then start to build a community around you. Start to build a group of people where you all are like, no, I won't do this. And you're watching this happen in hospitals. Hospitals, some of them are having to back off the vaccine mandate because nurses and doctors aren't idiots, and they know that regardless where you fall in the vaccine, you have a gene therapy that's been rushed to market without the standard clinical trials, which usually takes 10 to 12 years, right? This is not a safe thing to be taking under any normal medical consideration, right? They're not taking this, and therefore these hospitals are starting to realize, like, hey, if we require the vaccine mandate, we're not going to have enough people to do our job. And some of them are starting to back off a little bit. Americans just have to start to say no, right?
Yes,
that means
but it's going to be federally mandated. Even Biden said today, Medicare and Medicaid, if you accept monies from those institutions, it's going to be a federal mandate. You said it a few minutes ago. You said they're going to censor you. They're going to take away your bank account. They will take your guns. They will do all of that. But that is definitely coming. And I like where you're going, and I like where you've been in this statement that you're making. But bro, it's here. It's not going away. They may take one step back to take two steps forward, but it's not going away. And we have to prepare for that.
That's right. It's confrontation time. It's time to push back 100%. And you by yourself cannot do it. And loners will not survive this, right? They think they can. I always tell people, you're going to move out to Montana. What you think drones don't make it to Montana, right? You think you can last this out. This is why I'm willing to network with people I disagree with on major things. If they are liberty-minded people, reasonable-minded people that I can work with, I'm networking with them. This is why you have to take your online network offline. It's why you need their phone number. You need their address. You've got to meet in person. You actually have to start to build things, because we've all been vulnerable. We've all allowed ourselves to become fat, easy, comfortable, used to ease. And you think guys like John Adams. I just finished watching the John Adams miniseries.
Great series.
Amazing. Right? I love it.
So John Adams, here's this guy who at some level is considered a soft man, and yet he was a lawyer, had a farm, and worked in public office. We got people that they think working 40 hours is a big deal. So the freak what? Right. I work 13 hours a day, man. I never stop. I'm always going. Like, you want to build something that matters, you got to go hard. And I think we have to find builders and doers right now. And like, look, if they're Christians, that's wonderful. I'm a Christian, unrepentant. Jesus is the only way to heaven. If you don't have him, you're going to hell. I'm not sorry. I don't apologize. Okay. But right now we're in the middle of a freaking war of degenerates who hate us.
Yep.
And let's have some arguments on the other side of this, okay? Like, let's get to like some safe place, and we can talk a little bit more about some of the details. People don't understand the severity of what's going on right now. We look at Australia, right? And Australia is a police state. America is a police state. After Biden's, what he said today, who the hell does this man think he is? Who the hell that he can tell private businesses to require people to get a non-necessary medical procedure? This is the tyrant. This is King George. Like, what's wrong with Americans? We are under severe attack, and we care more about our platforms and our ad revenue. Like, your children have no future if you don't stand up. I just keep getting on these things and talking to people, and I keep thinking, like, dumbass, wake up. This is like the war of your life. This is
Yes.
the moment.
Yes.
It is that intense, and
Mike,
I get it. I get it.
Mike, listen,
Amen.
man. We're not arguing. We're on the same page here, and we're going to talk more backstage for sure. I just want to make sure that, you know, we can do what we can do on this side to show people that, hey, don't expect this thing to go away without a fight. It's not going to go away without a fight. They are in your face,
and they're going to keep pushing
here
until
we
we
say,
fight back.
Yes.
Bullies need bloody noses. That's the only thing bullies understand. They understand bloody noses. You cannot make deals with bullies. This is it. This is it. This is for Americans to freaking step up. Like, this is like, you feel like gay. You feel like you've lost your mind. You feel like, am I LARPing right now? No, you are not LARPing. This is legit. This is a cold civil war. This is like nutty, man. We've gone from 0 to 1,000,000 miles an hour in the last year. It's like intense.
Bingo.
And a lot of things they're doing, people have to realize they're distractions. You know, when they start bringing up like 9/11 stuff now, they're starting to say, yeah, it was all set up. They're starting to do this. That's because they don't want us to look at something else. There's a bigger picture. There's always 100%. A bigger picture behind their plan.
I asked the president, hey, what's the latest with Afghanistan? You know, like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, like, we know what's up. He doesn't want to know that the empire is weak.
Well, I think that was done intentionally. That's beside the point. They left all that equipment there to arm them instead of just, they can't say we gave them the stuff, so they just made believe they left it.
They sold us out to globalism. That's what they did. China's going to move in there.
They could have blew that equipment up if they had a.
Let me say this. Hey, Pops, let me say this. I have a friend of mine. I'm part of a private chat with some people that, discuss economics, and he brings in containers from China. He said it used to cost him $1,500 to bring in a container from China. Today, it costs over $20,000 to bring in one container.
I heard 30,000. I heard it went up to.
Okay, so he's doing it for 20. So now you're hearing 30. That is a leading indicator of consumer shortages, of product shortages, of dollar decline, of hard times that are coming. Right. And these people are driving us into the ground. They left all our equipment behind in Afghanistan. They made us run with our tail between our legs, let our boys die over there to embarrass us on the world stage while they hand the keys over to this great nation that we are and were to globalism. And we're allowing it to happen. We're allowing it to happen.
The biggest problem I have, though, is the military. There's over 400 generals in our military. How can at least not half of them be patriots? These guys were in the armed service for 20, 30 years.
They all want to work for Raytheon after. They all want to have cushy jobs making big money.
That's amazing.
Well, it's politics, too.
But and then even below a general.
How many of them
Where
resigned?
are they?
How many of them resigned in protest of what Biden did? I think it's 0, right?
I mean, nobody in the military standing up.
Yeah, they're all losers. They're all cucks. All the leadership.
I can't believe it. They sold us out.
Yeah, your government's been sold out, man.
And half of them
the fall of Rome. We're facing the fall of Rome, man. And the military ain't going to save you.
They're actually against us.
The regular guys are cool, man. Like the captains and the regular guys are cool.
Probably below captain, everybody's cool. Lieutenant, sergeant, majors. But I'm surprised even the lower ranks, like a sergeant major, is like a king in the military. I don't see any of these guys. Not one guy getting on and saying, "Hey, this is crazy. What's going on?"
I've seen one guy. He was fired for it, or he was
was it that corporal?
The Marine guy.
Yeah, somebody spoke up, and he got immediately fucking taken out.
His YouTube video's not even online anymore, dude.
Well, what they're saying now is they're going to offer them honorable discharges. If they don't want to take it, they're going to offer them an honorable discharge, and then what they're going to do is they're going to hire people that are woke and put them in the military. That's what they want to really do. They want to get rid of all the patriots.
The military is already full of woke people. Like, you don't have to be in like a commanding rank. A lot of these lower rank people are leftists.
But they're
I've had conversations with enlisted people and asked them, if you were commanded to fire upon American citizens, would you do it? They block me rather than answer the question. That says a lot, right?
Yeah, it does.
No, but there's still at least 50% of the soldiers are patriots.
Yeah,
okay?
I think a lot of them are
So
patriots.
what is the military going to split in half, and the patriot military is going to fight against the leftist military? That would actually be kind of cool. But
leave.
I mean,
they're going to get honorable discharges.
everybody, they're not just going to dishonorably discharge or honorably discharge anybody, because you have to like do something according to the rules. Breaking those
Yeah.
rules to get discharged. There's no rules to break if the leftists are making the rules.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
but
You're not
offering
going to
him.
get dishonorably discharged for committing treason when the people that are running the whole ship
I
are
didn't say
traitors.
dishonorable. I said honorable. They're
Well,
offering
why would you be honorably discharged for
wanna
doing
get-
dirty
Maybe
work
we
when
should
the
go
military's
backstage.
dirty?
Maybe we should
We'll
go
talk
we're
about
gonna-
this backstage.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're gonna go backstage now. One thing I do want to say is that I do have the link pinned to the top. So anybody, we can cycle whoever wants to come in. I see we got a couple people backstage right now. Well, we're gonna end this like very shortly. And what it is, it's the backstage pass. And we'll probably do this again. We'll see how it works.
Tony, there's a link for it on your thing.
Yeah, it's pinned.
Yeah.
So it's pinned to the top of the chat.
I
So
don't see
anybody
it.
watching, save that link. And if you want to jump in, I'm sure we'll be on for an hour or so backstage. You can still use that link even after we're off the live broadcast. You can jump backstage.
Pops,
So
stay there.
Yeah, Pops, where you going, man?
No, he probably didn't realize it's if you're here, you're staying backstage.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll figure it out. But anyways, I do want people to know that I'm wearing this shirt for my bad emails I've gotten since I posted this yesterday. Just look what it says. It's not you, it's me. Okay. But underneath it, it says, but it's mostly you. Just so you know. Okay. And then I'm going to end it with a quote from the new book that I'm reading. It's about truth. Okay. The truth is the property of no single person because it belongs to everyone who will accept it. What's the book? The Black Pill. So read it with me, guys. I appreciate everybody. Stay backstage. Again, it's pinned to the top. Okay, so you can still click on that link and we can cycle people in and out of backstage. Be patient, and we're going to have a good conversation tonight. I appreciate all of you. In the words of my good friend Ivan Throne, much love, honor, and respect to everybody here. And I appreciate you coming on tonight. And it's time for the backstage pass. Again, that link is pinned to the top. If you're watching this a little bit late, you can still click on that link. I'll see you backstage. We'll cycle you on and off. So come and talk to us. Cheers, everybody. I appreciate all of you.
Cheers.